why I have been choosing to put in work and time into my corporate job after hours, on evenings and on weekends. Why am I doing this? And for some of you, it might seem obvious, but for me, a previous version of myself, it was not obvious. A previous version of Rishi used to think, they're paying me to work 9 to 5, maybe occasionally outside of 9 to 5. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the best I can during those hours, and then after that I'm off. My evenings and my weekends are mine. I need to set boundaries so that I can have my evenings and my weekends, because those are really important. And I do still believe that free time and having time to play my guitar and hang out with Vanessa and hang out with friends is very important. But I have been choosing as frequently as I can to have what I like having these, what I call like a little evening or night session, work session, or a early morning weekend session. And the reason I'm choosing this is because the first reason, I guess these are kind of related, but the first reason is that it allows me to work more at my own pace. You see, if I give myself more hours, and especially if I give myself more hours where my brain is sharp, I've noticed in myself, my brain is very sharp in early mornings and in evenings a lot of times. In the afternoon, midday, sometimes it's just not, at least for knowledge work, it's just not as sharp for me. And what I've learned is that if I give myself more of these sessions, I can work a little bit more at my own pace. So I'll give you an example. This morning I got up and I went to a coffee shop and I worked for 3-4 hours or so. And it's a Sunday today, and what happened was I was able to just really work at my own pace. I was able to, work for an hour, then I got a cup of coffee, and then I really enjoyed that cup of coffee, worked for another 30-40 minutes. I meditated for a long time, worked for a little bit longer. I talked to my friend who happened to be at the coffee shop for a bit, and then I worked for a little bit longer, and then I called it a day. And what was cool was that, today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, I was almost getting ahead. I was getting a lot of work done, that I was almost, getting ahead of the work, getting ahead of the week. So now I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm probably going to go to a coffee shop again. My first meeting is not until I think 10 or 11. So I'll probably go to a coffee shop and I'm going to work at my own pace. I'm going to do probably 30 or 40 minutes of work, maybe get a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea, work for a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm really relaxed, feeling very relaxed this Sunday evening going to the work week, because again, I'm already ahead. And what's cool, and when I contrast that to if I was saying, okay, the weekend is mine, the weekend has to be mine, and then I get up and I go to work on a Monday, and I'm just almost scrambling, rushing, trying to get all this stuff done before my first meeting, because I didn't give myself as much time. And by giving myself this abundance of time, again, especially when my mind is sharp, I'm able to do more work, and the perceived effort is a lot lower. It's actually a lot easier to do the work because, I'm sharpest and I have the most energy, again, in the mornings and the evenings. So I'm able to work at my own pace, which allows me to enjoy the work more, which allows me to do higher quality work, which brings me to the second point of why I'm doing this, is going to allow me to become a high performer faster. My goal right now, my mission right now, is to become a high performing engineer. I want to become a high performing software engineer, because I feel as if the better I can do at this job, the more freedom I will gain in terms of if I need to take a break or want to go take a vacation or work remotely, I'll have more freedom to be able to do those things. I believe I'll be able to have more compensation opportunities, and I'll be able to honestly just have more pride in my work and probably respect for my peers. And so I want to become a high performer as fast as possible. And these extra sessions, not only do they allow me to work at my own pace, but they also allow me to become a high performer a lot faster, I believe. So anyway, I thought I would share this. This might seem totally obvious to you. If this is totally obvious to you, then I still appreciate you watching, but this was not obvious to me before. Again, it took me a long time to actually implement this, because I think part of it is because I started off as an investment banking analyst, where you just work around the clock all the time. All the time you're just working. Legitimately, you work from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Friday, you'd work like 9 to 9 or 9 to 7. And then you work Sunday, usually like noon to 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And I'm not even joking. If maybe it's changed, but back when I was working in investment banking 2016, that's how it was. If you have friends who are investment banking analysts, you can ask them. Maybe it's changed a little bit, but that's how the hours were then. I wouldn't be surprised if they still are like that now. But my hours were so crazy, my first job out of school, that when I got a more normal corporate job, I think I almost pushed the other way too fast, where I said, these evenings and weekends are mine. And I lost out on a lot of growth there. And so again, I'm all for having fun. Like, I think that, typically right now my schedule has been all work. And then I'll honestly sign off if I can, even at like 4, and just really give myself a chance to rest and unwind, and then do a little night session. Again, every day is different. If I'm flowing at 4, I'm going to keep going, and then I'm going to call it and give myself the evening. But this idea of giving myself more windows of time to work has just actually allowed me to feel more relaxed. And because I'm outputting more, I feel even better when I'm free. And when I'm free, I actually am able to recharge faster. So yeah, again, lately my rhythm during the week is I'll work, and then when I need a break, I might go to the gym and go to I don't have a gym membership. I call it the gym. There's an outdoor park near where I live, and I bring my resistance band and I work out there for a little bit. There's like all this outdoor workout equipment. I might do that, or I might go sauna cold plunge, or get dinner with Vanessa, or maybe go for a walk with friends, something like that I might do. And then after that, if I have energy, I do a night session. If I don't have energy, I go to sleep. But my mind is looking for the night session during the week. And then, if I have time during the weekend, if I don't have a bunch of plans, I'm going to be working, because why not? And because it's almost like when I work, I gift myself a little bit more bandwidth the upcoming week or the next day. So anyway, I thought I would share this. Again, I hope you found this useful. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't leave me a thumbs up, and I will talk to y'all on the next one.